subject happened?
Well, see, when I came back, I was going to say that. When I came back to the United States, I hurt my knee, this knee. And I couldn't, I was supposed to play professional basketball. And I couldn't, I didn't want to be sitting on somebody's bench. You know, so somehow I started writing. I wrote this awesomely bad novel in France.
I know the feeling.
Awesomely bad. It was terrible. And I knew I had, you know, I met John Paul Sartre through my girlfriend because she said that he was a writer and he could give me some hints. And, but he didn't want to give me no hints because, you know, it was bad. I had already said it was bad. So, like, you know, he wanted to ask me about the civil rights movement. You know, and he started talking about Miles Davis. And I said, oh, I love Miles Davis. I did love Miles Davis. So anyway, to make a long story short, I started writing poetry there. You know, I started writing poetry in France. But it was such a new experience for me. And I didn't know nothing about it. So when I got back, I decided I was going to read some books and learn how, and try to teach myself how to write forms. So I did, and I read Babette Douche, and I read these other books on forms and everything. And my first poetry were those poems. They were forms. They were villanelles, sestinas, sonnets, haikus, all of those. But then when I moved to California, and I met Ojinki and the poets that out there, who were coming out of the church, the African-American church, I threw away all of those poems. I threw them away, and I started writing in that way, you know. I started writing in a more free verse way, where I started to, instead of doing iambic pentameter or hexameter or things like that, I started trying to substitute John Coltrane notes for words, or Miles Davis cards for words. You know, trying to get that kind of ba ba boo ba 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 da ba ba. You know, I was trying to do that.
Is this going on in your head, or are you doing this? Are you making that sound, or is Coltrane in the background?
No, I listened to Coltrane, and then I started mimicking what he was doing, and then eventually I started making my own sounds. But ba ba boo ba, that comes out of Coltrane. You know, that comes straight out of him, lifted. You know.